Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Elevate 2021 podcast. My name is Gerda Muller, and I am, of course, your Elevate 2021 conference host. And today I'm really excited to have here with me the fabulous Nathan McDonald. Welcome, Nathan.
Hi, all.
Excellent. So, Nathan, I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Please tell us who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
Well, thank you, Gerda. My name is Nathan McDonald, and what I do is an interesting run. I actually am lucky enough to run 3 companies, and how that actually came about was quite interesting. First of all, I run a martial arts school. I have over 200 students in a very large location down at Redland Bay in Queensland. So that's been my passion. That's my hobby. It's not really a business. I don't see it as a business. It's just something that I love to do. And so I'm lucky enough to do that. I've also been in adult education and coaching for a long time. So helping business owners grow their businesses and put them on the right track and train them how to be better in business. And only recently, in the last couple of years, I've been lucky enough to combine the two, martial arts and the coaching company, into a company called Resolution Education, where I actually go around and help people deal with or help staff deal with difficult and potentially aggressive situations. So I've been lucky enough to use the customer service experience I get to train people on in with the martial arts side on how to keep themselves safe inside business. And I was lucky enough to do a couple of sessions of them a couple of years ago, and then was able to create a company around that, and I've been busy ever since. So I still work in all 3 companies, and it's been a great ride.
How awesome is that? It's not a lot of people that can combine their business skills with their sport interests and hobby interests.
It's been great, actually. It's been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and I don't know about Hapkido. I almost see that as a business for you because you do so well at it. And of course, my 2 boys did Hapkido with you, and they just absolutely loved it when we still lived in Brisbane.
Yeah.
And the work you do with kids around bullying and self-esteem and confidence. I mean, that's just even that next level stuff that you teach them as part of the Hapkido classes.
Yeah, and it's been fantastic, and to be able to combine that business coaching / training in with the passion, it's been fantastic. So I've really enjoyed the ride, and I've learned so much more in business as well. Even though I taught business owners a whole range of stuff, I've learned so much in the training aspect as well doing this. So I'm looking forward to sharing some of that knowledge, actually.
Yes, I'm looking forward to you sharing that. And although some of the people listening here would know this, there will probably be a lot of people that don't know our journey together, of course. So Nathan was my very, very first business coach and mentor. We started working together back in 2012, I think.
Yeah.
And we literally spent 4 years in depth in the guts of my private practice.
A lot of laughs, Gerda, a lot of tears from both of our sides, and look at where you are today. So it's good to have that foundation and help you grow that foundation.
Yeah, I mean, everything I know about business, I learned from you, which is why I'm always so excited when you say yes to coming and talking to everybody within the Elevate and, of course, the broader private practice success community. And this year is no different. We are having you, and you're coming to talk about a really amazing topic. Did you want to share the title of your presentation with us?
Oh, look, the title, I love the title. It's great. We're going to work on the productivity masterclass, so enhancing your focus on your business drivers. So the long and the short of it is we're going to look at some time management principles, time management in inverted commas, plus looking at those drivers that are going to help you get more time back in the business.
Which I think it is so good. It's going to be so valuable because I can tell you one of the biggest challenges practice owners continue to share with me. And I'm sure if you think back, that's probably one of the number one things I often complained and whinged and whined about, is not having enough time to do what I need to do. They're not knowing what to do and getting totally overwhelmed, right?
Yep, absolutely. And I still hear it today. You know, my clients still ring up to this day sitting there going, I'm not getting enough done. You know, what would you do in this situation? I've got this ahead. I don't know if I should do this. Coming up with some brand new ideas to try and grow the business. And, you know, so we're going to work through a lot of those questions that, you know, most of the people on board would probably have.
Yeah. So if we look at, you know, productivity, time management, and all the numbers stuff, it sounds like a really big topic if I say it like that. If we look at all of that from an operational perspective, how will it help a practice owner or even a clinician coming to Elevate and taking part in the presentation?
I guess one of the biggest things is, let me use an analogy if that's okay. Gerda, ever gone home and just gone, damn, that was a busy day, but I got nothing done? Right.
Oh, yes.
And and at the end of the day, you probably got a heaps done, but has it really actually done anything for your business, or have you been just spinning on that wheel around and around and around and around? And you know, what I'm actually going to be talking about is how to stop that wheel running around and realize when you're actually in that wheel halfway through the day, and looking at the best options on how to deal with a lot of the things that are thrown at you, what are priorities, what you should be looking at, how not to chase those shiny things. These are the things that, you know, that the people will learn throughout the training.
How not to change the shiny things. I think if most of us can just learn that, that would be such a big win. And, you know, I love that hamster wheel analogy. And I think what I'm getting is that your presentation will be that opportunity to step off the wheel and actually look at, what is this wheel? What am I doing? Am I on the right freaking wheel? What do I need to change? Is this the wheel that's taking me to where I want to get to? Right. And then it's so important. I think a lot of practice owners are just scared, or they so in that default mode of just keep on running in order to keep their head above water, that they never take the time to step off the darn wheel. And that's what your title and presentation is going to help them achieve.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Can
can't wait.
guarantee that, only because I've had my own learnings with this, and I've experienced everything that a lot of people go through, and still to this day, you know. Absolutely.
That's going to be awesome. All right, next question. What failure have you personally experienced in your business that your topic will help our attendees avoid? So something you've learned, insights?
My biggest, I at the end of the day, we can talk about failure as much as you want, you know, whether it's failure or not. I don't look at it that way, but I do look at mistakes made, would be a good way to put it. And for me, you know, I've made some incredibly mistakes, and my biggest one is trying to make too many people happy. You know, there's so much that we can do, and we love helping people out, but are we really helping ourselves out? Have we prioritized ourselves over a lot of things? And, you know, I'm going to share a great 80-20 rule that I try and live by. Sometimes I fall off that wheel and don't do it, but I'm going to share a very good 80-20 rule when it comes to helping people out versus what you need to do for yourself. And you know, my biggest thing that I used to do in the past was try and make everyone happy. And in the end, you get to the end of the week, end of the month, and found out that, you know, what did I do for myself at the end of the day? And where is my business growing? Because I was taking phone calls at, you know, 10 o'clock at night and, you know, stuff like that. And yes, it makes you feel good being wanted, but how is that helping your business? So that's one of the biggest, you know, principles that I looked at, and I actually had to set up rules for myself to stop doing that. And you know, you'll hear during the talk that 80-20 rule on how to utilize that a lot better.
Yeah, that's awesome. Those boundaries are so important, right? What a great lesson. Okay, so next question then. If you could go back in time, what would be the one thing you would do differently in your business?
Um, you know, it's an interesting question. I don't
Mhm.
know if I would change too much. I think I was on that path for a reason. I wish I could go back now 10 years ago and give myself the knowledge that I've actually got. If there's
Mm,
one thing I would actually change, I would stop. I've actually would have tracked my numbers a lot better. You know, I threw a lot of money at marketing, hoping it was going to work. And reality is, you know, it probably didn't work as much as what it needed to be.
mm,
And there's a lot simpler ways to you know, spend your money on marketing and stuff like that. You know, at one stage I was spending something insane like $4,000 or $5,000 for
mm,
a sole practitioner a month on marketing,
mm,
but I wasn't getting the results that I was actually getting. So I'd like to go back and sit there and go, hang on a second, you know, what are you doing with your finances? What are you needing to know about your numbers to make those relevant decisions? And as you can appreciate, Gerda, from our time together, as well as, you know, clients now and what they're dealing with, you don't need to spend mass amounts of money on marketing, you know, to get what you need to get to. So I would go back and probably change that. If there was one thing, you know, I would definitely change, you know, the way I've actually spent and knowing my numbers a lot better back in those days, to make a difference. Now, you know, there's not a lot of money spent on marketing that I need to do anymore, you know, so that's really important. And, you know, knowing that now would have been great back then.
yeah, and you most certainly do that, because I remember when we started working together, obviously my money situation wasn't as it should have been. And the first thing she made me do was look at the numbers. And even
Yep.
though I was resistant to it because I was all about helping people, I still
Mhm.
am, but I now appreciate the importance of the numbers and how it allows me to help more people, because the
Yeah.
numbers doesn't lie, right? Uh,
No.
yeah.
Correct. And if there's a saying, you know, and some people may not like this saying because they're not built that way,
Mm,
but sometimes we need to be selfish to be selfless at
yeah.
the end of the day. And there's only so many people we can help at the moment.
Mm, mm,
But if we looked after ourselves and got ourselves in a better position, we can look after way more. You know, and this goes back to priorities and who's putting yourself first in business and, you know, stuff like that. So
yeah.
these are the good discussions that we're going to go through.
Yes, yes. You've learned, you've taught me so many of those sayings and principles over the years that's just popping back into my head
Mhm,
as we're
mhm.
talking. And I'm so excited you're going to be sharing a lot of that with the guys as well.
Yeah.
All right. So next one then, what is the one thing that you're currently researching or focusing on? So anything new that you are doing, new in your world?
You know, it's quite interesting. I'm actually, I'm currently doing a Cert 4 in training and assessment that I've almost finished. I guess what I'm actually doing at the moment is more formalizing my qualifications. I know I've been training for a very long time. I've been teaching martial arts now 22 years, you know. So I'm actually, what I'm focusing on now is formalizing my qualifications. And I still struggle with that good old team that I've got behind me, and you know, I'm trying to be better at dealing with my team, and I'm getting external help to help that. You know, yes, I can help businesses grow, but I still have my shortfalls, and I know where they are. The good thing is I can easily admit it now, and you know, do something about it, and know the right places to go do something about it. So that's what I'm personally working on at the moment, because all my systems are pretty much set up. You know, I know where my numbers are driven. I know where my budgets are. I know where my sales targets are. Everything's set up. So from my point of view, and I'm going to discuss this during the session that we're going to have. Once you have those foundations, you then got to grow the systems and the teams. But
Mm,
sometimes you actually got to flip, and now the foundations are the systems in your team. So, you know, when you think about that, when you've got a good team behind you, you need to make sure you manage that team. So you need to get foundations in now dealing with some of the stuff that you get later on in business. So things end up cycling around. So I'm actually now working on those systems and team side of things and being better on that side.
I love that you said that, because I often hear people, practice owners, of course, talk to me, and they think that foundations are only important in the first 12 months of starting their practice. It's like, I want to get the foundations in place before I grow. And yes, you need to do that. Totally agree. But foundations need to be an ongoing focus.
Absolutely. You've got it in one. And it's not just the basic foundations that we're talking about here. Foundations are absolutely everywhere in business, and as you grow and, whatever you're going to do with your businesses, you've got to get those new foundations. If you want to go on franchise, you've got to get foundations in that. If you want to go do something completely different, you've got to go learn foundations in that. So you're always got to do that. The good news is it's a lot quicker to get to than when you first start business, as you can appreciate.
100%.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, that sounds good. And it's so exciting because your talk is going to fall within the foundation section of the overall conference, because it is so appropriate within that context. Excellent. I love it. So you were at last year's Elevate, which was Elevate 2020, of course. What did you love most about being part of that conference, which of course was a fully virtual conference event?
I just loved, I got to watch quite a lot of the other speakers, and I really loved how everyone gelled with that. Everyone had their topics, and it was just like you're doing this one big day. And even though there was different speakers and different ways to put it, everything just flowed so nicely. And, it was really good to see all the speakers just have their own talk, their own way to putting. And believe it or not, I was writing a lot of notes from those other speakers as well, and the learnings and their saying. So that was really fantastic. And, I know the feedback, that you shared with us afterwards was great, and the people loved it. I've got a feeling this one's just going to be just bigger and better.
Well, that's the plan. That's the plan.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I must say it was pretty awesome as well. And I mean, the goal was to bring all these speakers, and which is also for this year, from all these different parts of Australia, different types of businesses and backgrounds, and bring them all together. And they all have something that we can learn from. They all have stuff that can help us build our businesses. And it was just a great, amazing experience. I surely loved it.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this year again.
Yeah. So final question then, if somebody is watching and they're going, oh, I'm in a bit of two minds, should I buy a ticket? Should I not buy a ticket? What advice would you give them about should they attend or not?
Look, at the end of the day, how much do you want to invest in yourself? Yeah, whether it's me as a speaker you get something out of, or someone else, if you take one thing and implement that, what's it actually going to do to your business? What is that actually worth? So, you could sit there and have all the excuses under the sun that I can't afford a day off to sit there and listen to all of this. But, reality is you can't afford not to. The lineup of speakers are just huge. The knowledge is there. It's incredible. And, all you need is just one takeaway, and that's all you need to, change your business effectively, So it's all about education, and, just that 80-20 rule will be enough for you guys to get, if you just implement that 80-20 rule that I'm talking about, trust me, it will be worth the ticket. I'll guarantee it, because I know it changed my business and the way I approach my business, and I'm sure it'll do the same for everyone else.
Oh, I love that. I don't think there's any more I can add to that, because I got from that great return on investment. And it doesn't have to be something even from every topic. It could be one thing, right? That can give you 10 times your investment back. It's potential money that you can save from learning about something that would have cost you money. It's like the benefits is just amazing. So yeah, I'm convinced. I'll be there.
Excellent.
You'll be there.
I'll be there.
Well, thank you so much. I honestly so look forward to your talk. I might have worked with you one-on-one for 4 years, but every time I listen to you present and just talk to you in generally, there's something new that you share with me. So I'm really excited about it.
No, so am I, Gerda. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone else on the call and the questions. And, I'm always there for anybody. So happy to help and looking forward to an amazing event.
Thank you so much. I do appreciate it.
All good. See you all soon, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.